It's a flyweight title fight for all the marbles. Dan Tom here with MMA Junkie to help you break down the co-main event for UFC 283 between Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. These two have met 3 times where they are 1-1-1 in the series, of course having a draw in their initial meeting back at UFC 256, a fight that I actually scored for Figueiredo 4 rounds to 1, but Moreno was able to definitively beat him in the rematch at UFC 263. Unfortunately for Moreno, he would give back the title to Figueiredo in their third meeting, which was competitive, but justly went to Figueiredo last year at UFC 270. Hopefully, we get a definitive ending to this series this Saturday. At the time of this video, the odds makers and public are slightly siding with the former champion / current interim champion Moreno in the neighborhood of -120, with the comeback on your underdog, the sitting champion Figueiredo, in the neighborhood of +100 via Tipico Sportsbook. Now, I'm not surprised to see the line this tight because, let's be honest, it should have been pick'em odds this entire time, something I stated in my analysis prior to their previous 3 fights, and the way they played out, even the second one, it shows that these guys are a bit unpredictable. Let's keep these odds tight. The odds makers did the right thing there, but money is coming in on Moreno, and I can understand why. I will outline and get into the weeds on the adjustments on my in-depth breakdown, which you can find at MMAJunkie.com, but for this video, what I'll basically tell you is it comes down, at least for me, in my confidence of Figueiredo to not just make the weight, which he can make the weight, but more importantly, perform at the weight of 125 pounds. His body, Figueiredo's that is, has been clearly fighting him for years. This is a tough weight to make, and now I believe it's kind of producing arguably inconsistent performances in victory or defeat, frankly. Whereas Moreno, we've seen him with kind of random game plans that maybe be good, maybe they're bad. We've seen him both in the Sergio Pettis fight to his last fight kind of have these lulls and weird activity, not so much inactivity. We've seen him fight the first fight in this series on short notice, and all those iterations, Moreno's tough. He comes forward, he can counter hard, and he is game the whole way. But I think that the coaching dynamic may be big here. He is no longer with James Krause for obvious reasons, but he is with a coach I respect in Coach Saif Saud, who, at the very least, should be able to keep Moreno on track, filling him with commands to help fill that empty space. Now, ultimately, for me anyways, it comes down to if Moreno can extend exchanges on Figueiredo. But regardless if he can find that a success again or not, I do think that filling the space with volume will help hedge his bets. So for that reason, I'm actually going to slightly side with Moreno for this fight to see the method and more details and pathways for both men. Check out my in-depth breakdown at MMAJunkie.com, where you can find results this weekend.